Live. Welcome back to Spars Outdoors on this nasty, gloomy, tornado-fueled Michigan day. We're having some bad weather all across Michigan. Hope everybody's safe out there. Uh, got some more storms rolling through. Howell area right now has some rotation. Uh, there's some funnel clouds been spotted, tornado sirens going off, stuff like that. But we're not into that stuff right now. We're gonna talk about fishing, right? And fish report. So, let some people hop on here. We will let some people hop on. Let me know when you're. Holly, There's Grizzly. What's going on? 5 people in the house. Now let's jump this up, and then we'll get on to the fishing report. Make it short and sweet. Right down to the nitty gritty. We'll say right down to the nitty gritty on what's going on and where you're catching fish and where you're not catching fish and what's going on with the walleyes and this, that, and the other. So, Pat, what's going on? John, what's up, man? Peyton's terrible twos are kicking in real hard, man. She's on her last nerves. Hey, Greg, what's going on, man? There we go. We're jumping up now. Everybody hit that like. Be sure to hit that like. We're going to do this fishing report when there's enough people on here. Uh, like I said, I'll make it short and sweet for you guys this week. I'm doing it on Wednesday because tomorrow I don't know if I'm fishing. I don't know if the weather's going to be bad. I don't know if I'm taking a new boat out. I don't know what I'm doing yet. So, figured since we're in the house, it's obviously gloomy, windy, storms are coming. Not going to take the boat out. As of now, it's a no. I don't know what later brings, but as of now, it's a no. So we'll see. Mitchell, what's going on, man? Dave, how you doing? We're going to do the fishing report. I'm just going to start it. So, bless you, Peyton. First couple things I want to talk about is we've been helping some people out, some kids and a veteran, and I don't know if you've seen the video today on Facebook or not. Guy had his fishing stuff stolen. We took care of him, got him hooked up. If you guys know anybody in need of any type of fishing equipment, if they can't get out fishing because they don't have the stuff, reach out. Let us know. We might not be able to cover it right now, but we'll do our best to get it covered. Our goal here at Spars Outdoors has always been to get kids and veterans and everybody else out in the outdoors. So if they want to go fishing or they want to go hunting and they don't have the stuff, get a hold of me. We'll make sure we can try to make that happen. We've been trying to help out people more and more. Some people don't want to be recorded. Some people don't want to be mentioned on Facebook. None of that, and we keep their privacy private. So, but if you know somebody that needs some fishing stuff or some hunting stuff, and we can get our hands on some, we'll get it to them. If we don't have it here, we can have it pretty quick. So, keep that in mind before you go reaching out and buying a bunch of stuff. Get a hold of us, and we'll see what we can do for them. So, yeah, Dave, we're trying to. What's up, pal? Yeah, there's a lot of thunderstorms going on, man. Michigan's getting hit with some bad weather right now. Mark Pierce, what's going on? So let's get on to the fishing report, and I'm just going to say it like this. Walleye fishing has slowed down. It's that time of year where they just seem to put on the lockjaw. They're still feeding. You can still catch a good amount of fish. Some people are crushing it, and some people are having a real tough time. We've been doing okay. We struggled last time we were out. I can't say we struggled. We caught 50 fish, me and John. But we only kept 18 inches and bigger, so it took us 2 or 3 hours to get those fish. Not like it was a week ago when it was hot and heavy. I called this a couple weeks ago. I said, I'll see you guys, when the walleye bite slows down, and we'll see who's still catching fish. We're still putting up limits. You got to work for them, though. Remember, weeds are coming up. You're going to have to bring that sinker lead back up. Maybe lengthen your leads, shorten your leads, figure out what they want. Dull nights, when I say dull nights, I'm talking those overcast nights where the moon ain't shining good, and we're coming off that moon now. Remember, that moon phase was full last week, and now it's coming down. We're under half now, so as that moon phase comes down, the pressure changes, and this is what people don't get. That moon means a lot. With the color selection of your lure, the pressure, all of it. So as that moon's coming down, on overcast nights, you're not going to want to run those chromes and those real brilliant colors. You're going to want to stick to more of like the bone, the whites, blue-headed Wonder Bread, not chrome. The white, the red-headed Wonder Bread, the black-headed Wonder Bread, the Wonder Bread period, the mother of pearl. There's so many I can name. Latham has a smorgasbord of great colors for those nights that moon ain't brilliant or you ain't got real good light source on the water. In the daytime, those oranges like Orange Crush and anything with orange. Anything. There's so many. I could just name a ton of them. There's so many. Pink panties, non-chrome's been hot. Uh, just those non-chromes, okay? Your purples, the gold vampires. Like, I know a lot of you guys don't have those, but John has some gold vampires he made. Purples, pinks, blues, and the gold series, and them have been working okay. With that moon, okay, that moon's been after that moon gets up, it's been 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning before that moon even gets up. So that's when we're running those with a little bit of chrome. We're not running straight chromes. They're just not working. They're just not working right now. Daytime's different. Fire Tiger colors, anything like Old Faithful's been hot. Okay. Anything that has the oranges in it and greens in it works in the daytime. As that, it's going to change as it gets darker. You're going to want to change colors. Use those darker colors, the blacks, the white. When I say darker colors, okay, when I mention darker colors, I'm talking more of the dull colors like blacks and whites and grays and greens and blues, because when a fish sees blue, it's black. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. When a fish sees blue, it's actually black for them. So you want to keep this in your mind. And me and Dan Gart, Thumpson's right there. Me and Dan were just talking about this earlier, or yesterday. We were talking about the blue. But as that moon's coming down and that pressure's going up and down and all over the place and it's trying to, normalize itself, the bite's going to change. We just had that big mayfly hatch. Every walleye I cleaned last week was full to the gills of mayflies. So, and that's going to be going on for another week or two. So expect fishing to stay slow, okay? Expect it to stay slow, but don't expect to not get your limit, because you can go out there in a half hour and catch your limit. I'm not saying you're not going to go have hot nights, because you're going to. The bait fish is the biggest factor. What people fail to realize is the bait fish is the biggest factor. There is not many bait fish in St. Clair River right now on the American side. There's barely any on the Canadian side. There's a good group of them. Early morning, you'll get a good group of them coming through, and then right at dark, you'll get a good group, but then they're gone. So that plays factor too. Instead of fishing at 17 and 19 foot at nighttime, fish at 22 to 24 foot of water, fish low and slow. That's the best tips I can give for the week. Fish low and slow for those walleyes. Everything we've caught has almost all of them had been almost a dead stick. Couple twitches forward, stop, and just hold it there. If you get a bite, just hold it there. Bring it forward real quick, let it back, and let it set there. Dead sticking has been just low and slow, so your pencil plugs are going to start working. They do all year, but I don't run them. I just work it low and slow, and them fish are laying down in those weeds. So I still have the same sinker lead on, and I know when I hit weeds to reel it in and check. I'm constantly checking. But it's about that time of year where you're going to start, lengthening that sinker drop 27 to 30 inches even, and running your leads a little bit shorter, a little bit longer, depending on where you're fishing. Every spot's different, and I mean that. Every spot's different. So now's the time to tie up a spool of 6 foot leads, a spool of 5 foot leads, a spool of 8 foot leads, and make sure you have all three, and just go 5s, 7s, and 8s, 6s, whatever, whatever you prefer. I'm going to start running a 5 and a 7. That's what I'm going to start running. It's that time of year, but walleye fishing it's not over, guys. It's going to pick up really good. Jigging bite's been pretty good at nighttime. Still getting good fish pulling crawlers. Not like they were, but they're still getting good fish. The lake has some fish at the mouth of Lake Huron. As for Lake Huron, up for the silverfish and walleyes, all the way from Lake Lexington all the way to Harbor Beach, same thing. Slow. You can go out there and catch a few fish, or you can go out there and get skunked. It's just how it is. A lot of lake trout, you can go out to 150, 160 and get lake trout. You can go out to the Dundenberg out there and you can get lake trout. You can, in front of White Rock, get lake trout. You can go all the way out to the reef. You can get lake trout and a couple silverfish out there. But it is slow. It is super slow out in the lake. There's not a good report that I've heard out of the lake. Everything's been terrible. I haven't even bothered thinking about going out to the lake to go trolling. So there's a lot of walleyes in St. Clair River. I mean, it's chock full of walleyes. They're going to put the feed bag on, guys. They don't have the bait fish right now, and you think, oh, man, they don't have the bait fish. Man, they should be smashing while they're eating those mayflies. So there's a lot of different things playing factors. The water temperature, the moon phase, the way the weather's been, the hatch, the everything you could think of. The bait fish not being as heavy as they were 2 weeks ago. I told you guys this was going to happen. It happens year after year after year after year after year. Boardwalk fishing is going to be the best you're going to do right now. and you're going to want to use night crawlers, 18 inches off the bottom with a 5 foot lead, and it's just a plain gold hook, and run that crawler up the hook, and you'll do well fishing the bottom, and you'll get them on crawlers. People say swordmouth don't exist. Swordmouth does exist. Swordmouth has always been a thing. And I will argue anybody with that. Swordmouth has always been a thing because this time of year, the walleyes are eating off the bottom, they're rolling the rocks, and everybody that's went fishing, everybody that's been fishing, that's been walleye fishing, even a couple years out of their life, know this time of year, when you go to get them out where the hook is, their mouths rip that far. Some lips rip right off. It's just crazy. They get super, super, super sore mouths. They even lose teeth. They're rolling those rocks over, picking up crayfish. They're eating off the bottom. They're eating off the top. They're eating off the seawalls. They're eating everything they can. And with that warm water, the bottoms of their mouth will actually get red, and that's what has always been called sore mouth. So remember that crayfish is a good bait to use. Jigging at the boardwalk's been picking up. There's been a ton of fish caught, a lot of small fish, but they're getting a few keepers all along the boardwalk. Pine Grove Park did well last week. The small micro challengers, F9 Rapalas, F7 Rapalas were doing good. Red eye spoons, but the best was the crawlers on the bottom, 18 knee high. Just run your crawler knee high. Okay, I don't care if you're 12 foot tall or if you're 4 foot tall. Run your crawlers knee high. Knee high always works for everybody, but typically it's going to be 18 to 24 inches off the bottom. You want to run your crawler with a 5 foot lead, and then maybe slide down a flatfish. Just a little F5 flatfish spiked with a crawler, and slide that down. And on another rod, slide down an F7 Latham, small, slide it, and run that belly button high, and then run that crawler with a 5 foot lead. No crawler harness, straight gold hook, and do well off the boardwalk. And walking the wall, where you're just walking the wall with two twisters and you're walking the wall real slow, you'll catch walleyes doing that. Casting from the shore, slowed right down. Last week I pounded them, went out last night, caught two. So there was no bait fish. If you don't have the bait fish, then walleyes are not going to be up top feeding. Down along the boardwalk, there's always bait fish there at night because all the lights. So they typically come along, sit at top, but there's not huge schools of bait fish either. Early morning, 4 or 5, as it's starting to break daylight, the biggest schools of shiners are running, and the small smelt, and the walleyes are right underneath those. So keep that in mind. And I'm talking the whole St Clair River, guys. That's just how it is right now. They're getting some perch on the Canadian side on Lake St. Clair. They're getting some perch over on Mitchell's Bay. The all-weather buoy, they're still picking a few away. They're getting more perch on shore along St. Clair River on our side than anywhere. I haven't heard much on Lake Huron perch. Perch fishing's the best. Like Mitchell's Bay is doing good. The Canadian side out on Lake St. Clair is doing the best past the shipping channel. Doing great on them, actually, getting good numbers. So I don't have a real good perch report for you for here. Just they're scattered throughout St. Clair River, and you can pick away at a few. Crappie fishing, Black River's full of crappies. Black River's full of bluegills, pike, bass, you name it. Same thing with St. Clair River. Smallmouth bass are in thick and heavy. Atlantics are finally starting to show up, so you're going to see some videos of that coming up real soon. I'm excited for that. The Atlantics are finally starting to show up, so that is good news. They're late. They're about 3 weeks late, so everything's funky this year. It's not been like the last couple years, but the walleyes are predictable. The walleyes they're a very predictable fish. They do the same thing every year, year after year after year. Might be a week or 2 or 3 behind or ahead each year, but they're going to do the same thing as that water temperature gets to the same spot as that right now. So just get out, get fishing, and keep at it because they're going to snap again. And I expect these next 2-3 days to be a little bit tougher fishing, but then I expect a big change when those bait fish pour back into the system, and after these storms, and we've had crystal clear water, so we're going to have a little bit of tint now, right, with that mud pouring out of all the rivers, Pine River, Bell River, Black River, up into the lake, all the creeks flowing out in the lake. We're going to have a little bit of color in the water, right? Might be too dirty at times, might not. When people say it's too dirty, catch them in the daytime, but I like it with a little bit of stain where you can see your lure 5-6 foot down instead of all the way to the bottom. I don't like seeing a bottom in 20 foot of water. I don't like that at all. I never have, even though I've had great nights. I like to have some color in the water. So just keep in mind color. On a clear night when the moon's out or you got lots of lights on shore shining down, use those G finishes, use those chromes, because that light refraction means everything on those lures. When you got a dull night out, use dollar colors. Use the whites, the mother of pearl, the blacks, the greens, the pinks, the purples, just all of them. Latham has a smorgasbord of non-chrome lures. Everybody loves his chrome because they're beautiful. So are the non-chromes, and you're going to want them in your box. If you don't have them and you're fishing next to me, and I know if Thomas Young's watching right now, I haven't seen comments, he'll tell you. He was out for hours before I went out the other night. They had 2 fish. We went out, got our 12, passed them, stopped and talked to them. They were at 3 fish at the time. So we fished an hour and a half and had our limit, and we were using, there were, I made a video. I made a small video there for Facebook. We were using no chromes at all. So go by the moon, go by the color of water. Look up at the sky, then look at the color of water, and base your color off that. So that's about all I have for you for the fishing report for the week. But I'm gonna get back to some comments here and see what I've missed. Yeah, Al's been smashing fish hand lining. Hand lining is on fire too, guys. Hand lining is the way to go right now. If you've got the equipment to do it, right now is the time to do it. Because hand liners are doing better than everybody in the river right now. And Al's been smashing. He don't keep fish under 20 inches, so he's been smashing the heck out of them. Worked hard last night. A lot of short fish, but we limited out. See, yeah, you're working. You're insane. That's been the story about everybody, or they're just not catching fish. Period. Yeah, absolutely, Al. Mash that hatch. Yep. I hear Saginaw Bay is still going good, but Mark, yes, Saginaw Bay is doing good, but I will tell you this: there is a ton of fish. You're allowed to keep 13-inch fish there. They're keeping 13 and 14-inch fish. They're getting limits of danks, of pins, stuff we let go here. They're getting a few big fish, but those 3-4 pounders haven't showed up yet. They were there, but then they were gone. Now it's all small fish up there, Mark. So, and Bob Barham knows guys that fish every day, and that's how I get my report from that. So, yeah, Dan is Thumpum is bringing 3.5-inch crayfish back, so that's a good bait that's going to be real good here real soon. Greg says, I am picking up some really nice perch casting in the river, not limits, but yeah, Greg, they're scattered in the river. They really are. If you can find a good weed bed with a good amount of perch on it, you can really do damage. Absolutely. There's Thomas Young. My boat almost sank. Damn thing was full of water at my aunt's house. Woo, man. Got 4 last night. It was slow, Brent Jackson said. Yeah, people are struggling. You just got to know what colors to run. Just pay attention. I'm going to do a whole video on here. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow or the next day. Within the next week, I'm going to do a video, and I'm going to show, it's going to be like for different moon phases, for different, overcast days, stuff like that, and what colors I'm going to choose and what colors I'm going to run. Maybe we'll do it in the garage with John Latham. Maybe it'll be like a debate thing, because me and John disagree on a lot of things, and he'll tell you I'm right on a lot, and I'll tell you he's right on a lot, and he'll tell you I'm wrong on a lot, and I'll tell you he's wrong on a lot. We disagree. We agree to disagree, but we've proved time and time again that both of our tactics do work, okay? So that'll be something cool. So maybe we'll do it in John's garage. Maybe we'll even do it tomorrow night. We'll make a little video. Maybe we'll even go live. And do a video of colors, what colors we pick, why we pick them, when we pick them, how we use them, and how we run those baits, what leads we're using, what drops we're using. All of it, you name it, we could probably make a really good live out of that, right? So just remember to support this channel, because all this info that I give out for free, it cost me a lot. I didn't just learn this overnight. It's not something I learned overnight. It cost me a lot of money, a lot of time away from my family to get out and know these things. And I'm not saying I'm a professional fisherman by no means. I'm not a professional fisherman. I'm good at fishing. I am. There's guys that are a lot better than me. I get to fish with the legend himself a lot. He's great. And I've got to fish with some of the best. Al Chartier is one of the best handliners on the St Clair River on here. He's on here. Roy Young taught me. Roy is probably the best that I've ever seen. Al's right there behind him. Jeff Kincaid, old handline Dick. I miss him. Rest his soul. I fished a lot with Larry Lixie. I fished with some really hardcore hitters on the St. Clair River. John Latham is one of them, of course. And Jig and Larry Lixie taught me a lot, and Johnny Johnson, and there's just so many people I can name. Al taught me how to run baits on the river rods. My dad taught me how to crawler fish. My dad's a legend down there on the river himself. He's just a quiet legend. My Uncle Greg was huge into fishing. There was a group of guys, handliners, way back in the day, and my Uncle Greg's name was River, which paint, and that's where she got her middle name from, was my Uncle Greg that passed away. They called him River, and Butch Hicks was my uncle too. So Uncle Greg and Uncle Butch used to be in there with Lixie and Eddie Miller and all those guys. They were all tight. They all knew each other. Everybody knew each other. John knows them all. All those old timers know each other, right? So, uh, I learn a lot from those guys, and I sink that stuff in. So that's why I do get a lot of information. So anytime you guys support this channel, it goes right back into this channel. You guys are seeing what I'm doing without even being on YouTube, just doing it, when I see people randomly. So, uh, just make sure you guys show this channel some love and support. Everybody hit that like, that helps. Everybody subscribe. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe. Everything helps. Donations to the channel help always. You don't just have to do it on a giveaway. Watching my videos, going and rewatching all the videos, that helps out a lot on my algorithm. So everything helps. I'm a small time YouTuber and I'm trying to help everybody out the best I can with my tips, my tricks, and my tactics. And like I said, I think that'll be a good thing to do is color selection, color choice, depth, watercolor, all of it. Just cover the whole thing to give you guys a little bit of an insider on what we're doing when we're going out and how we're productive every time we go out. And me and John were just talking about it. We usually have one bad night a year where we don't get a limit. So we had my buddy Jason on the boat, and we went out and we got our bad night out of the way. We got 12 fish. 12 nice. We probably caught 30 fish, but we had 12 real nice fish in the boat. Probably could have kept 18, but had 12 nice fish in the boat. Worked hard, very hard for them. That's what we called our bad night of the year. So we had our bad night of the year. We got that out of the way. So, and everybody has those nights. So, what's up, Jeff? Blue Wonder Bread is good. Yes, that's been a hot color. I read an article about Lixie changing name and back out netting. Can you explain? I'm not going to talk about what Larry himself did. I'm not going to talk about anything that Lixie did back in the day because that, he's passed away. He's gone. What he did is what he did. Everybody say hi to Peyton. Say hi.
Hi.
Say thanks for watching Spars Outdoors.
Hi.
Say see you later.
See you later.
So there was Peyton, guys. Peyton was in the house for the night. Here he is, old Trump kitty. There he is, old fat boy we call him now. Fat boy, he responds to fat boy better. He's a fat cat, but yeah. So I don't know what you're talking about, John. I have no idea what you're talking about. Never heard anything like that. How you doing, Griff? I see she pulled the hairdo. It's gone.
Yeah, she messes her hair up all the time. Can't ever keep it cute.
Peyton won't let me finish this live without being on it.
On.
Say I'm on.
On.
Say star of the show.
Down the shore.
Say I want to go fishing.
Fishing.
You want to go to Latham's?
Fishing.
What color you want to use? Purple, pink? What color?
Pink.
Pink?
What's your favorite?
You want to use pink Latham?
Fishing.
Catch a walleye?
Catch a walleye.
On the big boat or the littler boat? Which boat you want to go on?
Regular boat.
The regular boat?
Regular boat.
Okay. Or do you want to go on the new boat?
New boat.
You want to go on both the boats?
New boat.
See, I just want to go fishing.
Fishing.
There's your next fishing star right here. So, Frozen Barbies has been good. Yeah, that's always a good choice.
Of course.
She is the star of the show. So that's about all I have for you guys for the fishing. Oh my goodness. Okay, grab her real quick, hon. that's about all I have for you guys for the fishing report for the week. Remember, all your support helps this channel, so make sure you hit that like. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not subscribed. Make sure you guys tell your friends, family, everything. Get everybody on board with this page. It helps me out. So we'll see you Saturday we got a really good giveaway Saturday, guys, and we're gonna do it this Saturday. We got a really good giveaway. And I might do that sturgeon trip, but we have to meet a certain amount of donations back to the channel and give that away because those trips cost me roughly about $150 a trip out just to go. So, and I go a lot. You guys know I go a lot. It's not cheap. So, anything helps. If you guys want to win a sturgeon trip, make sure you guys are at least contributing what you can to the channel. So, thanks everybody for watching. We're gonna do a good giveaway anyway. We got a big giveaway, so it's gonna be great. Everybody's gonna want to be part of it. That's for sure. That's all I'm gonna say. We got a great giveaway this week, guys. and maybe we'll do the sturgeon trip too. So, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you guys live on Saturday night at 8 o'clock. And be looking forward to that video in John's garage. We'll probably do it live, talking about colors and stuff like that. So, thanks everybody. God bless. Have a good night. Take a kid, take a vet, take anybody you can outdoors, and just introduce them to the outdoors. Get them fishing, get them hunting, and yeah, just make memories and have great times with great friends. So, thanks everybody for watching. See you guys Saturday night.